Okay, so the last strategy that we are going to talk about for adding and subtracting is the number line. Now, I know the number line was one that was really, really frustrating for a lot of students, especially subtracting on a number line. So I'm hoping that this will help clear up some confusion and help just give us that practice that's going to get us to full understanding. So I am going to show how to add on a number line first using the numbers 481 plus 72. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my number line. Now, when adding on a number line, you're going to start with one number and add on the next number. Now, to choose which number you start with on the number line, with addition, it doesn't really matter. You can start with either number, but a great idea would be to start with the larger number so that when you add on, you have less to add on. Okay, if we start with the 72, we have to add all of that 481 in chunks. But if we start with that 481, we only have to add 72. So I'm going to start with 481 on my number line. Now I'm going to think back to how I decomposed this 72. I know that this 7 in the tens place represents 7 tens or 70. And I know this 2 just represents 2. Okay, so that's how I would decompose that number. And now I really need to think about how it would be easiest for me to add on that number in chunks to this number. Okay, so I'm going to start with my tens, and I'm going to look. Is it easy for me to add on 70 to 481? Not really, not super easy. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to break apart that 70, and I'm going to start by just adding it by tens. Okay, so I'm going to add 110, and I'm going to get 491. Okay, so I added 110 of my 70. I'm going to add another 10, and I'm going to get 501. Now, the reason I added in tens until I got to 500 was so that I can get myself to the next 100 more easily. And by breaking it apart more, I am less likely to make mistakes in my adding. So I added 20 of this 70. I know I have to add 50 more, or 5 tens more. And I feel like I can more easily do that now that I am in the 500s. So I'm going to add my 50, and I'm going to get 551. So I added that 70 by breaking it up into 2 tens and a 5. So here is my 70. All right, now I just have to add these 2 ones. And I'm going to get 553 as my final answer. All right, and again, using a different strategy, but we're still getting the same answer. Okay, go ahead and try the addition problems on the next slide by solving using a number line.